Formula. Yep, Billy. Nope, 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 nope. That's the equation of a line. Nope, nope. Y equals mx plus b is the equation of a line. All right, m represents slope. That's about all that slope is in that formula is m. That's about it. Yep, go ahead, Remy. Okay, you're going here. The y's are on top. Y2 minus y1 on top. Change in y always in the numerator. In the denominator, x2 minus x1. Those are your coordinates. Okay, 4 different types of slopes. I'm not going to get into too much of it right now because we'll talk about it later. Positive slope is when it goes uphill left to right. Negative downhill left to right. Now take a look at these two. There is a difference. This one has a slope. It's equal to 0. This one has no slope. All right, you can't find the slope of a vertical line. But of a horizontal line, the slope equals 0. Everyone good? Okay, so let's get right into it. 3 different types of equations. You may have heard of them last year, maybe not. That's fine. We're going to talk about them now. Standard form of an equation. Guys, that is when x and y are on the same side. X and y are both on the same side of the equation. Look at the actual example I've given you here. 6x plus 3y equals 12. That is in standard form. Why? Because x and y are on the same side. What I'd like you to get from it, or help me get from it, is the x-intercept, y-intercept, and the slope. X-intercept, that's where this line crosses the what? X-axis. So what I'd like you to think about right now, don't have to draw it, think about every point on the x-axis. Every point. What do you know about the y-coordinate on every point on the x-axis? What's the y-coordinate? 13. What's the y-coordinate on every point? 3, 0, negative 2, 0, negative 1, 0. What's the y-coordinate on every point on the x-axis? 0. So what I'm trying to tell you is if you want to find the x-intercept, where should I plug in 0? In for the y. Yes, plug in 0 for y. So go right ahead. Plug in 0 for y in that top equation to find me the x-intercept. So 6x plus 3 times 0 equals 12. Solve for x. Go right ahead. $15. When you're ready, let me know what the x value is. 2. So the x-intercept is 2. What's that mean? Right here at 2, everyone, take a look. Right here at 2 is where that line's going to cross the x-axis. Y-intercept. Look what we just did for the x-intercept. How do you think we're going to treat the y-intercept now? Here you go. 1, how are we going to treat the y-intercept? Plug in 0 for x. Perfect. So everyone go ahead now, plug in 0 for x to tell me what the y-intercept is. Two, when you're ready, let me know the y-intercept. 4, nice job. So I know it goes through the y-axis at 4. I can graph it real quick. All right, how am I going to find the slope, though? How am I going to find the slope of this line? Got to solve for what variable? Anybody remember from last year? Got to solve for what variable if I'm going to solve for the slope? We got to call some of your algebra teachers up and see if you actually did this, huh? Anybody remember? Okay, fine. You got to solve for y. Got to solve for y. Okay, so I need 6x plus 3y equals 12, and all I need on the left side is the y. So what can I move over first? All right, what can I move over first to get y by itself? Here we go, 5. What can I move over first? Okay, how? Okay, here we go, everybody. Subtract over 6x. Can you combine these two? 12 and negative 6x? Absolutely not. So you're just going to leave it 3y equals negative 6x plus 12. Y is almost by itself, almost. One last step to get it by itself. Here you go, 8, one last step. Divide everything by 3. Y equals, here you go, 26. What do I have here? Y equals negative 2x plus 4. Yes. Now that it is solved for y, anybody remember where the slope was located? Whatever's with the x, there's your slope right there. That's your m value. There's slope, so it's negative 2. You cannot, hey, did you see a negative 2 anywhere up here? So what I'm trying to show you, when it's in standard form, x and y are on the same side, you cannot get the slope unless it's into y equals. Questions there? Standard form. Anybody know what type of form this is here? That's the next form we're talking about, yep, which is called slope-intercept. Slope-intercept form, when y is all by itself. Okay? That is y equals mx plus b. That is not the slope formula. All right? M is your slope, and what's b represent? The y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. Yep. So I've given you 2 here. 4x plus 2. What is the slope of 4x plus 2? Let's roll. 24, the slope? 4. And how about my y-intercept? What do you got? 1? 2. That's pretty easy when it's already in y equals, right? Very easy. But what's the problem with the next one? It's not in slope-intercept form. What form is it in, 5? That's in standard form right there. X and y are on the same side. So what am I going to have to do? Solve for what variable? Solve for y. First step. Here you go, 23. First step. How? Yep, everybody add 6x over. Can't combine the 12 and the 6x. So 3y equals 6x plus 12. Next step. 8. Everything by 3. So to put it into slope-intercept form, it'll be y equals 26. Keep going. 2x plus 4. Now that it's in y equals form, slope and y-intercept. Here you go, 23, slope and y-intercept. There you go, slope-intercept. Standard form, slope-intercept form. All good. Questions there? One more form. I mean, this is maybe totally new to you. And that's called point-slope form. Okay, point-slope form. Let me just write this a little bit bigger here. What's the m represent? We know that part. That's the slope. The only other part you guys have to worry about are these two right here. X1 and Y1. That is a point on the line. Okay, a point on the line. Okay. A point could be the y-intercept, could be the x-intercept, any random point on the line. That's what's going to be plugged in for x and y. All right, here's one in point slope form right now. Here's one in point slope form. Can you pick the slope off of that right now for me? Can you pick the slope off of that? Because it's already given. Here you go, 15. What's the slope off of that one? 3. It's where the slope's always located, right? Slope. Slope, 3. Can I have your help rewriting it in slope-intercept form? Look back if you need to. Slope-intercept form starts with what? Y equals. Y equals. So I need it solve for y here. So what would be your first move in solving it for y? 8, your first move? Yep, distribute the 3, everybody. That's what I would do, absolutely. Y minus 4 equals 3x plus 3. So all I did was distribute the 3. Your next move to get y by itself, number 15. So y equals 3x plus 7. Slope-intercept, point slope. All right. Questions at all? Where are we going to usually hang out? Slope-intercept form, probably. That's where we're going to usually hang out. All right, slope-intercept. Speaking of hanging out there, can you answer a couple questions for me? Can we just go, can you skip over a page real quick and go to write the equation of the line and slope-intercept? Because while we're on this slope-intercept bandwagon, I want to keep this train rolling. And we'll get back to that other stuff in a second. All right, every one of your final answers, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. That's what I want here, y equals mx plus b. What do I give you in the first problem? 2, what do I give you in the first problem? What's given? What's m? What's that another name for m? Slope, and what did I give you as 4? Didn't I give you everything you needed? I gave you everything you needed here, slope and y-intercept. Put the 2 together. Put the 2 together there. What's my equation? 27, what's my equation? Y equals. Okay, yep. Great, I'll hear from 3 then. Y equals slope, 3x, and then your y-intercept. It's pretty easy when everything's given to you, right? Pretty easy. Number 2, though, I don't give you everything. $10. What piece of the equation do I give you, though? 10? I give you the slope. I give you the slope as -1. What did I not provide you, though, that we're going to need some help with? 14, what did I not give you? Yeah, that stinks, huh? The y-intercept. Okay, so how can we find the y-intercept? Use the equation, the slope-intercept equation. Use it, use it. Which one up there represents the y-intercept? 18, which one up there represents the y-intercept? 18? B. So I'm going to try to solve for B right now. Can you guys find me a number to plug in for y, m, and x? Y, m, and x so I could solve for B. Well, let's talk. 11. Do you know a y coordinate this line goes through? Here we go, everybody. -4 equals. Do we know the slope of this line? 7. Do we know the slope? -1 times. Do we know an x coordinate this line goes through? 4. Do we know an x coordinate? 2. Can you guys handle that and solve B now? Go ahead. I'll ask somebody in about 15 seconds here what the value of B is. Value of B, what do we end up with? 12? How'd you get it? Other than your group mates? Okay, that's -2, but it's not solved for B yet. How do you bring it over? Okay. Okay, can you guys put this all together and give me the equation of the line now? Now that I know the y-intercept and the slope, what's the equation of this line? Here you go, 12 again. Everyone all right there? Everyone are comfortable finding B if it's missing now? Okay, how to find the B value. All right, well, this is even worse on number 3. Even worse, yeah.
Could we put it in the points?
You could, now that's the other version, is put it in point slope and convert it, yes. Put it in point slope and convert it. Okay, even worse for number 3. What are you not given in number 3 that you need for the equation? 4. What do I not have here? 4.
Oh, you don't have the, it's not giving you the slope?
I don't even have the slope, and I don't have the what? The B value. Both are missing. Okay? We need to find both. Let's start with the slope. Anything I've given you today that finds slope. 5, anything I've given you today that finds slope.
Slope equals y2 minus 1.
Okay, here we go. Nice job. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's do it. That'll find me the slope. Okay, 16. Need some help plugging in. What are your y coordinates? Because that's going to go on top. So -3 minus 0 over. Now the order will matter. If you pick -3 to go first, you got to pick its x coordinate to go first down below. Okay, 24. What are my x coordinates then? 7 minus 5. Got it. I'll take a second right now so you don't have to do it later. Get out your calculators if you have it, please, because I'm not going to do this one for free. Okay, you can leave this as a fraction, -3 over 2. I prefer that you leave it as a fraction. But if you put -1.5, you're still correct, but I prefer you leave it as a fraction. All right, so there's the slope. What am I still missing, though? I have the slope. What am I still missing? 22, what am I still missing? Y-intercept, and I'm going to find it the same way I did up here, using y equals mx plus b. Now you have a choice, though. You have to pick one of the 2 points I gave you. Okay, so can we just, as a class right now, pick one of the 2 points so I can call in somebody here? 5, 0, that's what I figured. So I'll use 5, 0 here. All right, so let me go here now. 25, what should I be plugging in for y now? 0. What about for m? What's my m value here? 20, m value? All right, -3/2 went ahead of me there, times x value 5 plus b. I'm not really concerned that you guys have to use a fraction because everyone should have those fraction templates on most of your calculators. And that's why I had you get your calculator out, so you can do that. -3/2 over 5, what'd that come out to be? 23, what'd that come out to be? What is it? Sure about that? You know how to use your fraction template or no? 3 over 25? What are we typing into the calculator? Tell me exactly what you're typing in the calculator. Question, Avery? Okay. Question, Mason, while we're doing this? Point slope? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. But just make sure you convert it into y equals. Question, Julia. Here, that's fine, but if it's something like negative 1.5629589, keep it as a fraction, please. Okay, I don't want anything long here. Yep. 10. Well, I don't know what we're typing in our calculator. Do you have your alpha y equals button? Okay, so negative 3 over 2. Get out of it, times 5. Okay, here we go. Negative 15 over 2 plus b. How do I move the negative 15 over 2 over? 28. Add it over, yep. If you guys have 7 halves over 7.5 over here, that's fine. So my b value is 15 over 2, or 7.5. Let's put the two together right now. Y equals, what's the equation of this line when I put the two together? 8. Y equals negative 3 over 2 x plus 15 over 2. Perfect. Any issues there? I got one little last piece here with you. Okay, and that is the topic of this unit, which is parallel lines. If you have two lines that are parallel, we know they don't intersect. Anybody remember anything about their slopes from last year? I'll just throw this out. Go ahead. They have the same slope, all right? So if two lines are parallel, they have the same slope. They have the same slope. So in this problem in particular, I want a line parallel. Once I see parallel, I'm thinking, what about their slopes? Same slopes. What is the slope of the line I have given you right now? Negative 1x plus 4. What's the slope of that line? Here you go. 7. What's the slope of that line? Negative 1. So what's going to be the slope of my new line? Negative 1. All right, you're halfway done with the battle. What's the only other piece of information I need to write the equation? The y-intercept. How have we been finding the y-intercept all day? By using y equals mx plus b. Let's see how much somebody can fill out here for me. 10. What can I plug in for y here? 5 equals slope x negative 2 plus b. Yep, same way I've been getting it all class. When you're ready, let me know your b value. Number 27, number 4. Let me know the b value when you get it. What do you got there, Fiona?
27.
It was 4. The next one was 4. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's fine. It's not your fault. B value. When I multiplied and moved over.
Oh, 3.
Should have been 3. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, put the two together. What's the equation of my new line? Number 10. What's the equation of my new line? Two lines are parallel. What do I know about their slopes? They are The same. All right, last one we got to talk about is what if they're perpendicular to each other? Two lines are perpendicular. Okay, so again, perpendicular forms what type of angles? Right angles. Got it. So anybody from last year, remember, the slopes are not equal, obviously. All right, so how do they relate to each other? They're called negative reciprocals. Yes, so if two lines are perpendicular, bless you, slopes are negative reciprocals. Let's talk about what that means. So a line, here we go, perpendicular. So I'm thinking negative reciprocal. What is the slope of the line I have given you? 4x minus 3. 26, what's the slope of that line? 4. Everyone agree? The slope's 4. Now, what do I mean by negative reciprocal? So right now the slope's 4, but now I need the negative reciprocal to find the line that's perpendicular. Negative reciprocal. Flip and change the sign. Flip it, change the sign. What's the negative reciprocal of 4 then? Here you go, 1. What's the negative reciprocal of 4? Flip. You didn't flip it for me. This is 4 over what? 1. Flip it. Negative 1 over 4. Everyone see that? Flip the fraction, change the sign on it. So there's your slope. Again, what's the only piece I'm missing now? 24, what's the only piece I'm missing? Y-intercept. Going to find it the same way we've been finding it all day today. Actually, do I need to do that? How about I read the problem? What's the problem tell me? It already tells me the y-intercept. So let's put the two together and write the equation of this line. 3.
Y equals -1/4x.
Perfect. Questions there? I don't know 100% for sure, but you may have to graph tonight. So if you don't have graph paper, you might want to get a couple slices over there on your way out. Because if it asks to graph, graph on graph paper, not a ghetto sketch.